All right, guys, as we get ready and heading into the fall, get ready for the start of our practice. Most importantly, get ready for our first game. I want to go through the playbook with you, and we're going to start off with named plays. We have about 11 named plays in our playbook, which is means that most of our playbook will tell you what you're supposed to do. But in these named plays, we are expecting you to be able to remember your job in these named plays. The first one we're going to look at is jet. We're going to look at it against a couple of defensive sets. We won't have time to really go through every defensive set that you might be able to see, but we're going to look at the two primary sets that you probably will see against our spread formations. So in this spread formation, we're looking at a three-man front, and in the run plays, we're going to look at their fronts. In pass plays, we're going to look at coverage more so than their fronts. So this is a run play designed to be outside, either with the B-back or with the quarterback. Outside means outside of the guards, not necessarily always to the boundary. In a three-man front, 90% of the times the QB is going to keep just because of numbers, and we'll go through a little bit of that. So this play is a basic play. We're in our spread formation. This is a spread 22, evenly matched on both sides. Spread 22, two receivers on each side of the ball in a spread formation. B comes in motion. Q fakes the ball to B, and then he basically wants to get north and south as quick as possible. Left guard and center, you have to recognize that this is a three-man front. You're going to center, you're going to bump that nose tackle, that defensive lineman, you're going to bump him and then get up to that chasing linebacker who it would be wonderful if he would the linebacker who is in motion with the B-back, if he continues across the formation, make your block easier. But basically this zone that you're in, this area that you go to, if you watch yourself, that area is where you want to kind of block at. You either that what is labeled DB or the linebacker. Left guard, you're going to take an outside step, not charging towards the defensive lineman. You want to get on that outside shoulder, get them sealed inside towards the ball, and you want to hold that block as best that you can. That's our key block on any one of these outside runs. The guard's block are key. QB fakes the handoff. When you fake the handoff, you want to get north and south as quick as possible. Because the backside linebacker is probably free and probably coming to chase you down. Now, again, in 8-man football, a lot of our matchups are one-on-one matchups. That's really what we look for, one-on-one, especially a one-on-one like this where the defender is chasing the offender, the offensive guy. Anytime you get in a chase mode, that's a hard tackle to make. It's an easy tackle to break. They're running at you. Juke whatever you got to do to get by them, but it's a one-on-one matchup, and that's really what we want. We want a one-on-one matchup. We're going to be expecting you guys to beat your one-on-one matchups. In 8-man football, that's really what it comes down to. You see here, it's a one-on-one matchup. If everybody's blocking like they should be, you beat that one block, and you've got a lot of yardage, possibly a touchdown. Now, when we look at it against a 4-man front, again, in a 4-man front, this will almost always, a 4-man front will almost always be a direct handoff to the B-back. Again, this is numbers related more so than anything else. Same motion, but the line changes. In a 4-man front, the line changes. There's going to be no second level blocking. Everybody's going to block play side man. We're leaving the backside defensive end free. We're going to hand off, again, right guard, much like the left guard in the 3-man front. You're going to take a flat or even a dip step to make sure that you can get to the outside shoulder. You want to get that defensive end blocked inside. Very key. Receivers on both of these, you can look at both of them. It's just a simple, straight up man block. Again, we're for the B-back handoff in a 4-man front, we're probably looking for more outside. Again, this chasing linebacker this is probably man coverage, so he's got him all the way. You would expect him to have him all the way Again, this defensive end is probably going to come a little bit more outside than he is straight like this, but you just got to get outside of him. Again, here we are, defensive back, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call him. He's in a chase mode. You know, we got a little traffic in front of him. We're trying to get as much traffic in front of him as we can. If we can get this guy, if you can push this defensive end over into this area, that's even more lovely. But getting them sealed is what we want. He's in a chase mode. You got to make that. Got to make the blocks, and got to break that one tackle, or one possible tackle, or just outrun him, as we show here. To give you an idea, we'll put it in 3D for you. Here is everybody. Just run through it, watch it, boom, boom, handoff, and then it's just a one-on-one make or break. Same thing in the three-man front. Here it is in three-man front, 3D. Again, just come through. He keeps the ball and is running. So that is Jet in both three-man and four-man front. Oregon is a play that we had last year. This is one of the few RPOs that we have. So we're going to look at Oregon in man coverage. Again, this is a RPO, run pass option for the QB, and there's a couple of different reads. But again, we have B, who's coming in orbit motion. Orbit motion is behind the quarterback. We're going to fake that dive. Now, the QB is watching this right side, play side linebacker. He is looking for what that linebacker does. If he comes up like that, more than likely they are in man coverage. At the same time, Y and H are watching. H, if your defender starts coming at you, Y, your defender goes with you, they are in man coverage. At that point, H, as soon as you see man coverage, we want you to get north. We want you to get down the field as fast as possible. We want him, again, chasing you. You're not. So as soon as you make this arc, it isn't waiting. You're getting down the field. We see man. QB is going to throw the ball down the field, and we got H. We got the defender chasing H. Again, the read for the QB is that linebacker, that outside linebacker. He could come into this gap or he could come outside. Either one. If he steps down, they're in man because they're leaving that zone wide open. You can see if we could, if there's anybody right there. If they are in man, I would love for X to go back in here in the vacated zone right over the top. So he's running a zero, maybe flatten out a zero. Again, H, as soon as you see the man coverage, as soon as you see that guy coming up, or if they're inverted, this middle DB that's covering you is closer to the line and that one's back, you can almost guarantee that if they're in this formation, they're in man. If that other DB's back and this one's up, they're probably playing a little bit of zone. But if they're in man, we want you down the field because we're gonna hit you down that sideline. Again, it's run pass option. But 9 times out of 10, we're really looking for the pass. The only way that we're going to run is if this linebacker really messes up and gets sucked up into the center with that B back, depending on how good our fake is. In zone coverage, change it just a little bit. Zone coverage. Again, at the snap, what you're going to see is at the fake handoff in a zone, the linebackers are probably not charging the line. They're probably going to fake out to their zones. You can see the DBs fake going back to their zones. Why? When you see that going to zone, you're going to block that linebacker. You're coming up here to get in his way. H, you're going to flatten your route, stay behind the line of scrimmage, because we want to put a lot of pressure on this outside defensive back. This is where the RPO comes up. This shows you throwing, but at this point, y'all two start heading down the field together, and you're just picking up yardage as best you can. So again, you're going to stay, but you're just going to hover in this area, making him cover you while you've got this block. We're going to pick up, and again, you're a one-on-one with that defensive back. So again, kind of a man look. We'll go through it. You're gonna come across, dive back down, fake that, and then we're gonna hit you right over the top. And if you're looking at Oregon zone, again, you're gonna flatten out. Again, it's a one-on-one matchup. That's really what we're looking for. Hopefully we get some wide open looks. We design them for wide open looks, but again, one-on-one is the best. Is what we're kind of looking for. All right, Seattle. Seattle is a tunnel screen, but it's a tunnel screen. Again, all of these, again, you can see how they're very similar. They're very similar at their beginning to let the defenders not really know what we're doing. Again, we got the B back coming in motion. He's coming in front. We're going to drive. We're going to drive the defensive back and then come back. QB, we're headed back left, and we're trying to let that B get set up for that defender. This is a river, so the right guard and center are going to tap those defensive end, go up and get to the second level. So you're looking at just a simple play, simple motion. We got a jet motion and a simple tunnel screen. We run this tunnel screen with three receivers over here in a different formation. In the same formation, but without the motion, in a 1-3 formation. I'm sorry, 1-3, no motion, 1-3. This is the same thing. We just bring them in motion, given the opportunity for a possible handoff. Again, it looks very similar to Oregon. Looks very similar to our jet. Everything's looking the same. They really don't know what's going on. In a zone, zone gives us a little more problem than a man, but same thing. B-back's in motion. The zone, the B-back is still looking for that defender. He's just not going to be chasing H. So you'll probably be more down the line of scrimmage. Right guard, you're going up to get that. Again, everything is the same. It's just your trajectory to get that guy is going to be a little different. You're still looking for the same guy. Again, one of the keys here is this handoff. It has to look like B-back is actually possibly going to get the ball, and then QB, when you're running left, again, this is jet. This is, they're thinking jet. They're thinking that we're running the ball, and they're coming after the QB, think they've got a free. So, set up, tunnel screen. All right, guys, that's 3 plays. Hopefully, those 3 we'll be working on in the fall. Hopefully, you can look over them in your playbook and see what they are. Got any questions, shoot me an email or send me a text or whatever we got. Anyways, thanks, guys. Have a good evening.